Hiya folks, this is Trickster2D, back once again just to go through my brand new track, Oh Brother. First of all, we're going to look at a few different things. Mostly we're going to do the drums for the next wee while. We're going to look at the kick drum first of all. Now I've gone through a real run of using sample kick drums and using other people's kick drums, but I found that it was very hard to get them to fit into my own productions, and I was spending more time mixing and flattening and doing everything that I had to do to actually get them to run properly. So what I've decided to do from now on is actually make them from scratch. So I'm going to show you how I did that on all of these tracks. So I've chosen 3 separate kick drums, one for the low end of things. So I've used an 808 kick drum. I'll just play that for you now. That's very low down in the register. Probably one of the best things about this is using EQ to sort out everything. So as you can see here, I've cut out everything below the 379 Hertz mark, because I just want that kick drum just to have the low end really. So if I just take out these other parts and let you hear it without the EQ. You can hear that there's an awful lot of top end on that, so putting the EQ on it just gets rid of that. Okay, so then what I wanted to look at from there is to get a wee snap into action. So you'll note I've got a high kick up here as well. I'm just going to let you hear that. I'll just double click on it and take off the EQ. Okay, so this is the kick drum with all the low end taken out of it. So I've done a little bit more work and taken some more of the low end out of it, so we'll just get the snap. And lastly, I've got the main kick on channel 3 here. The most important thing about that being that gives us the middle, the actual mid. So it does now. As you can see, I've rolled a little bit of the bass off, left some of the highs on. Just taking a little bit of the mid out of it. I'll let you hear it without the EQ first of all. So you can hear it's quite a hefty kick without that. If I click on the EQ now, there isn't much difference really. All I've done is rolled some of the low end off, so it allows the 808 to fall into place. So what I'm going to do now is then mix that down, because I'm very happy with the sounds that I've chosen, and that is one of the most important things. You need to choose the correct sounds. So I'm very happy with those. I've done all the EQ work that I need to do. Now what I want to do is mix them down onto one track, so that I can go ahead and use it as a one track thing. So I'm just going to put all the tracks back on again, and now you can see here what I've done is in the output, instead of clicking on master, which is what I would usually do, I've chosen this track called kick drum, which is an audio track. Now you'll note that I've done that for all 3 of those. This is a term called bussing, but I'll go into a lot more detail on that a little bit later. But hopefully this should give you an idea. I've then clicked on the record button. I'm now going to take off the loop marker because I don't want it to loop. I'm going to click on record, I'm going to click play, and then this is going to record this as one kick drum. And there we go, we have one loop of kick drum, which will just trim off now. And as you can see, once we take these down, take these off, we loop it again, and if I play that back, you'll hear the full kick drum sound. Okay folks, I just want to quickly run through the snare. Effectively what I've done is exactly the same thing as what I did with the kick drums. Now the only difference is with these, they tend to take up quite a lot of mid-range. And when you're looking for snares, usually what I do is play them side by side. So I'll put a drum rack onto a MIDI track filled with snare drums, and I'll do the same with the other one. And I'll put in a simple rhythm that'll run with a kick. So that's on 2 and 4 pretty much. So then what we're looking for is two sounds that effectively will mix together. Like I said before, this is very, very important to do this early on. Take your time whenever you're building drum sounds. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Now what you need to do is just to make sure that they don't clash. Once you've got them, what I tend to do is put a spectrum analyzer onto the master. I'm not sure if I've got one here at the minute. I have. And you can see it running with my voice. So my voice has a bit of bass in it, and it has a wee bit of top end in it as well. Now what I will usually do is solo one of the tracks and see exactly where it hits. So we can see that the bass in my voice, if I put it to this particular part of the waveform, it's sitting at 95 hertz. So what I'm looking for is to actually get the two so that they're not clashing with each other. So if there's frequencies where they both interact, we want to make a decision on which is the most powerful sample that we want to have up front. And then the other one, we need to dip those frequencies out using EQ. Now that's effectively what I've done with these snare drums. As you can see up here, I've now got two separate ones. We can see in power and size, this is probably the one that we want to sit at the front. So I'll just play that and let you see it, and we'll be able to see it going through the analyzer as well along with that. Okay, so here's the first one. So we can see it's just clipping up in and around this area here. It's very, very short. There's very, very little to it. And we'll just drop this one in as well. Now we can see there's a slight difference. That's a little bit heavier, so if we take that out, now we can see that they're both clashing in this area. So this is where we want to look at this one and think, right, okay, this is the big one. We want to keep that there. So then we'll use an EQ then just to cut that particular area out of here, and then we'll roll off the bass.